Till Kahrs is an international speaker, one of the most sought-after trainers in the world, and the best-selling author of several books published in a number of different languages. Till Kahrs has spoken to literally thousands of people worldwide, helping individuals from virtually every industry and background imaginable improve their business communication skills.
Also, the coin jingler, this is my favorite in corporate America. See a lot of executives, they get a couple coins, in their pant pocket, start jingling it around, and the audience starts counting. A couple quarters, a couple nickels, a couple dimes. That's about 35 right there, right? Crazy, crazy, that's a distraction. The other thing is if your hands are in your pockets, it's rather hard to gesture. We have a tremendous opportunity here at ABC Company. We need to work together as a group. We need to increase our sales. It's tough to do. We need to reduce our inventory.
Till Kahrs has worked with over half of the Fortune 1000, inspiring employees, management, and people from all walks of life to new levels of improved communication. Till has also started several successful consulting businesses that have made him a true leader and innovator in the speaking and training world. There is a reason Till Kahrs has been featured in many magazine and newspaper articles, and a reason that he is a frequent guest on TV shows analyzing presidential debates and giving guidance to politicians, executives, CEOs, and CFOs.
And you're a media person. There was a talk about the cosmetics making their first appearance.
What's really interesting about it is a lot of people were listening on the radio. And according to the radio listeners, Nixon actually had the edge there. But the people watching on television seemed to give JFK the nod. So I think that was the birth of presentation skills and media skills as we know it today. It was a defining moment.
Working with Till has helped me achieve great success and become one of the top 10 producers in my company. And he brings a level of enthusiasm and excitement to his career that's just tremendous.
And I think he looked presidential. He had been out in California campaigning. He had that bronze tan. I mean, he just looked good relative to Nixon. So he didn't necessarily win that debate, but I think the general public felt a lot more comfortable with him, no question about it.
I believe I spent too much time in the last campaign on substance, too little time on appearance. And that's from his own words.
And I think you're right. And if you look historically at the different debates, you look at the Quayle, the Benson situation, some of those things that happened, and Reagan obviously considered the great communicator. There's no question about it. He just had a presentation style. He used the one-liners. And whether you like it or not, it was extremely effective. I mean, especially for Reagan.
Do you think they have to have learned from what happened 40 years ago to acquit their side the best this coming Tuesday?
Well, I think presentation skills obviously are very important. The image is unfortunately everything sometimes. You look at some of the other debates that have happened. Reagan was the king of the one-liner. Are you better off than you were 4 years ago? Things of that nature. You look at what happened with Gerald Ford in '76 when he talked about communist domination, and that backfired. I think this is a pivotal time. As you and I discussed, right now it's a very even race. It's very similar to what's going on, what happened back in 1960. So I think what happens and how they come across will make a lot of minds up.
Prepare, can you get in your living room with a bunch of people pretending to be George W. Bush or Al Gore and prepare for a thing like this?
Absolutely, and that's exactly what they're doing right now. They're working with stand-ins and they're thinking of questions that, of course, the Bush camp would be asking, and vice versa. And they practice these things and they actually go through rephrasing techniques, different answers, and then they talk about it and they do it again. There's a lot of videotaping involved, again, because they want to see how it comes across, because, again, image is so important in the debating scheme of things. That's right, and it's interesting, in some of the other debates, there's that witching hour between 60 and 70 minutes where all of a sudden these things come up, and it's like people watching the Indianapolis 500. They're just waiting for, a crash and burn. And if you'll notice, Gerald Ford, when he made his comment about communist domination, that was about at the 61st minute. When Quayle made the comment about JFK, again, that was at the 61st minute. That's one of the reasons Gore was lobbying for the hour and a half, the 90 minutes.
So there's time to recover from a car crash.
Yeah.
Till Kahrs is the author of Enhancing Your Presentation Skills. George W. Al, you can still get this before Tuesday. Still time there. And it's in stores as well, and there's his website. Ross Perot is good at bringing in charts and stuff. You wouldn't advise that. Charts are dangerous, aren't they?
Well, they've got to be presented the right way. He had the pointer there, and then he started, playing with a pointer, and it became a distraction.
This is our one three-person debate of recent history when Mr. Perot was a member. We don't have Buchanan or Ralph Nader this time.
You'll notice there they brought in big chairs. That was a ploy by the Clinton-Gore side to make Ross Perot appear like a little kid.
No, you don't mean that.
They do stuff like that, I swear.
What would be your advice to either of the gentlemen?
Yeah, I would tell Bush has the personality thing going. So, we need to see more of that. I think on the other hand, though, Bush has a tendency to be a little bit loose. He needs to really focus on the issues and study up on those. So put on your thinking cap there. Gore, on the other hand, he certainly knows the issues very well. He speaks more specifically, but he needs to loosen up a little bit. He needs to smile a little bit more. He needs to seem a little bit more accessible to the general public.
What about the vice presidential debate, Lieberman and Cheney? That's coming up, October the 5th, I believe.
Well, it's interesting there because Cheney, you have, on the other hand, he's more of a serious person like Al Gore is. On the other hand, Joe Lieberman has more of that happy personality. He smiles a lot more, and he's a lot more accessible if you watch the DNC speech, for example. So kind of some interesting variations there.
Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. As always, the news continues here at the Orange County News Channel. Kahrs, a presentation consultant who looks at things like this and, in fact, has written a book on enhancing presentation skills. I don't think this is in the Gore or Bush camp just yet, is it?
No, they could still call me. It just became available.
Well, they've got 2 more debates. There's still time to read this.
That's right.
Did it accomplish what we hope these debates will do, in your opinion, tonight?
It's very hard to say. As we discussed last week, right now it's such a close race. So debates of this nature, every little bit, even though it's a vice presidential debate, I think it's still very important because so many minds aren't made up. And because it's so close, it's extremely important that both of these gentlemen get their message out.
We're going to roll some tape as we continue to talk, Till, just of how they appeared on the camera. We get into these nuances of performance. See anything of note tonight? Any
Absolutely. Yeah, Dick Cheney, you'll notice he looks down a lot. He rarely looked at the camera until about the 51st minute. He keeps his hands together, and that's what we call the magnet position, so he looks a little bit nervous there. Although both of them look fairly comfortable, you'll notice he simply doesn't look at the camera. Now, here Joe Lieberman, you'll see him look directly at the camera, which makes him seem a little bit more accessible. He doesn't have the, what I call in my book, aerosol eyes problem, where he looks around at Bernie and then back down and then back around. So he focuses on the camera, which is a positive thing for him, and he also uses gestures effectively.
Till has become my communications mentor. I've had the opportunity to read his new book, to attend many of his workshops, and to go to many of his lectures. He has taught me some very basic communication skills that have really helped me in my business and in my personal life.
What makes Till unique and why hire Till Kahrs? Till's technology will motivate you for sure, yet Till is much more than just a cheerleader. How am I different? What sets me apart from some of the other speakers out there? I give you exactly what it is that you want. The message is customized, it's tailored, and your audience will remember the message and will be able to incorporate that message immediately. His content is meaningful, purposeful, and always on target, yet he presents his content with a delivery, style, and timing of a well-seasoned entertainer. My workshops are an investment in your people.
I strongly suggest that you invest in Till Kahrs, and the best part of it all is that you will have fun doing it.